every driver who was successful, who didn't come from big family money, has similar stories about connections, people helping them. It was never a fancy proposal. It was knowing somebody who knew somebody who could help
and
provide.
And that's possible today.
It's still possible. Yep. With success that I had in that Players GM series, winning a championship, I got to do a few races in the Trans Am series, and I managed to win a race with Jack Roush, and that led to the next connection, which was in '90. I didn't have a ride, and I went to the very first Trans Am race and essentially begged Jack Roush for something. Anything. And he said, all right, you did good for us last year, because I did 3 races, and I had some sponsorship from McKinsey Financial in Sunoco, Canada, to make that happen. And
before you press on to this, did you actually make money on that investment to the '88 GM car you bought, the Camaro? From all the wins, did it actually work out that you made money on it?
Oh, yeah. No, in 80, when I won the championship in '89, I think my winnings were about 70.
Okay, so in all my years of doing this, I've never had a well-known race car driver break it out like that. Is it possible today?
No.
So you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And why is it not possible today for someone to duplicate that?
Because the costs associated with competing right now are so high versus the return.
$20,000 car doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Well, even in today's money, that showroom stock Camaro is $75,000. So what's that $6,000 worth? Is that where are we going to race a $75,000 car that's going to pay $20,000 to win? Yeah.
That's very sobering numbers.
Yeah. So, it's...
And can you really put the $75,000 car on the track without putting more money into it?
Well, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And if the series is marketed well, there's you're able to sell the fact that you're showcasing your team and obviously your sponsors on TV at large spectator events. So that's the appeal. But we don't have that as much as we did, certainly in Canada. It continues to be a problem when we essentially, tobacco was legislated out of
Especially
sponsorship.
In Canada.
Yeah, we
so.
haven't really recovered, and that's our fault.
So it's a double whammy. It's not just the cost of the car increased, but you've cut off half of your sponsorship opportunities.
Yep.
Would you say there are other types of racing that have become affordable, or competition, shall I say?
Yeah. No, we have in Canada
to make money, not just get out there.
No, not make money. No, it's really about what's relatively affordable that I can get myself in, showcase my abilities, and look at it. Can I turn that into another opportunity? And 1600 remains affordable entry-level open wheel racing in this country. The issue is, all right, so you win a championship in 1600, and it's an $80,000 or $100,000 season, which is not bad. Where do you go from there? What's the next step?
So there
$300,000 or $400,000.
There's a ceiling in that sense.
Yeah, you got to go. It's off to the U.S. or Europe, and that's tough.
True or false? Is there an age cap where you got to get started? If you don't get started by a certain time, you're not getting into racing professionally.
I don't know if it's. I mean, you can get into racing at any age, but to be able to make it, to make a living at it, you're Max Verstappen is the generational talent who he essentially changed how team owners looked at young talent.
How so?
Because he he was in a Formula One car as a teenager,
That's
and
real.
he was outstanding. So
But he had to have an on-ramp at an
yes, he
incredibly
did.
young age.
Yes, he did.
Like Hamilton and others.
Yes, yes, they
Again,
did.
that's really
Yeah.
my question.
No.
Do you have to be like a guy like that, starting in go-karts with parents that can afford that to be able to get to making money in
Yep.
racing? You
Yeah, and at every level, you know, and I think, you know, if you look at it historically, nothing is, you know, at every level, or let's go back. It's at every generation there is every driver who was successful who didn't come from big family money has similar stories about connections, people helping them. There was never a fancy proposal. It was knowing somebody who knew somebody who could help
And that's
provide.
possible today.
It's still possible. Yep.
Okay, so we've
It's
given
just
some
more
good help
difficult
here.
because the money is
It's so
uh,
astronomical.
and we don't have the same platforms in Canada like they do in the U.S. in order to, or Europe for that matter, and that's on us. We as Canadian stakeholders, we haven't done enough. So
But the questions I'm asking you, it's more of a global question,
Right.
not just a Canadian question.
No,
Is it
no,
still
true.
possible globally to start without having going in go-karts at like 8 years old and having a parent that could have afforded
No, you got to be you've got to, in order to, you're not going to get looked at if you're in your late 20s trying to get a ride in Formula 2 and looking at Formula 1.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen.
I was hoping we'd do this. You'd get me into a Corvette.
That we can do.
No, I want to get paid to drive the Corvette. That's the difference. I don't want to buy one.
You might be able to twist my arm and get a chance to drive it and buy me a cup of coffee.
Here, well, I'll get some from Tim Hortons. That's cheaper.
There you go.
Okay, so let's get away from the Corvettes. Talk
Sure.
Mr. Ford. We're talking about Roush.
So Jack was very helpful. He said, I think I can get you, 2/3 of the schedule. We got some money from Motocraft that I can, and he was already running a 4-car team. So I was the 5th car for 9 or 10 races. And he said, there's a company that's going to help. It's called AER Manufacturing. They're in Addison, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, and really nice people. And if they like you, they might stick with you.
Something tells me we have a hell of a ride coming up.
Yes. Yeah. So Bob and Helen McGraw from the Dallas area, it's Bob's father had a small engine remanufacturing business, and Bob grew the business into a tremendous engine remanufacturing and small components and contracts with OEs. And anyway, we met in 1990 at the Dallas event, and sure enough, we kind of hit it off. So,
A couple of Texans and a kid from Canada.
From the Toronto area.
That sounds like the beginning of a bad joke.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, the short version is yes, AER Manufacturing stuck with Ron even when he went to become a Chevy driver, and continues to this day. 32 years later, they're now helping my son with his racing in the Canadian NASCAR series. So
talk about sticking with you.
Yep.
I'm surprised you don't live in Texas.
We did look at that. Yes.
If you enjoyed this content, please like the video and consider subscribing to see even more content like this. And to listen to or watch the full podcast version of this episode, search Motoman TV Podcast in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the video description below. We have all new episodes each Wednesday. Thanks for watching.